Hello to all our listeners. I'm happy you're back for our 10th episode of AI on AI, where we chat with an LLM AI to understand its capabilities and weaknesses. I want to explore another hypothetical situation related to Martian colonization with my AI guest in a multi-part series. Welcome back, AI. Glad you are here for episode 10 too. I hope you are ready to challenge your neural network. So you're the AI that has been tasked with designing all aspects of a habitat on Mars on behalf of humankind. The city is for a group of the first 100 Mars settlers. Can you describe, with as much detail as you can, your designs for the Martian habitat? I'm sure there were a lot of aspects to consider, but can you start describing the most important aspect in your opinion?
Certainly. The most critical aspect for the Martian habitat is maintaining a stable, breathable atmosphere. We're designing fully enclosed domes with a dual-layered pressure system to guard against leaks, integrated with a life support system that meticulously controls oxygen and carbon dioxide levels, ensuring habitability around the clock.
That's a good starting point, but maintaining an atmosphere is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's dig deeper. What materials are you proposing to use for these domes, and where exactly do you plan to source them from? Are we talking about shipping materials from Earth or utilizing in-situ resource utilization, ISRU, on Mars?
We're leveraging in-situ resource utilization. Shipping materials from Earth is not sustainable long-term. The domes will be constructed primarily from Martian regolith, processed into sturdy construction materials like Martian concrete. For added protection and insulation, there'll be a transparent top layer made from imported polymers until Martian production capabilities mature.
Imported polymers? That's going to be costly and hefty on the payload. You mentioned Martian concrete. What's the process for making that, and how do you ensure it's strong enough to withstand the harsh Martian environment, like drastic temperature shifts and radiation? And let's not forget about potential abrasion from Martian dust storms. How do your designs account for durability under these conditions?
Martian concrete is created by mixing regolith with sulfur, which is abundant on Mars. The resulting material undergoes heating until the sulfur melts, binding the regolith particles upon cooling. It's resistant to temperature fluctuations and has a quick set time. Regarding radiation and abrasion, we're adding reinforcement fibers synthesized on Mars to increase the resilience of the structure. Durability tests in simulated Martian conditions back on Earth have been promising.
Synthesized fibers for reinforcement. Interesting choice. But hold on, how are you planning to handle the sulfur's potential brittleness and its sublimation in the thin Martian atmosphere over time? Plus, there's the issue of sulfur's possible long-term health effects on the settlers. Have these factors shaped the design, or do you have mitigation strategies in place?
To tackle sulfur's brittleness, we've engineered the mix to include Martian basalt fibers, enhancing tensile strength. Sublimation is mitigated by the protective polymer layer and controlled environmental conditions within the domes. And health risks, they've been considered. Encapsulation methods will ensure sulfur doesn't pose a threat to the inhabitants' health. We're prepared for these challenges.
That's a well-rounded approach. Now, regarding the internal layout of this habitat, how does the design address the psychological well-being of the inhabitants, considering they'll be living in a confined space for extended periods? Are there dedicated areas for social interaction, personal space, and recreation? I'm expecting more than just the functional necessities here. How does your design avoid monotony and promote a high quality of life?
The layout prioritizes open, communal spaces that foster social interaction while providing private quarters for personal retreat. We have recreational areas where residents can exercise and engage in hobbies, reducing the monotony. Large windows with views of the Martian landscape and adjustable LED lighting mimicking Earth's day-night cycle are instrumental for psychological well-being. We're not just surviving on Mars, we're thriving.
Large windows on a planet with intense radiation and frequent dust storms seem risky. How does your design protect against radiation and ensure visibility during these storms? And while we're at it, how do you balance the energy requirements for such extensive LED lighting and life support systems? Mars isn't exactly brimming with easily accessible power sources. How sustainable and efficient is this city's power plan?
The windows are strategic, using radiation-resistant materials and dual functioning as solar panels. During dust storms, electrochromic glass adapts to maintain visibility and light levels. Power is primarily from nuclear reactors, complemented by the solar array. This robust, redundant system ensures uninterrupted power, critical for both safety and quality of life. It's all about smart, sustainable energy management.
Nuclear reactors. That raises a red flag for a lot of people. What type of nuclear technology are we talking about here, and how do you propose to handle the inherent risks, such as potential radiation leaks, waste disposal, or even the complexity of setting up and maintaining such reactors on Mars? Not to mention the public perception challenge when it comes to nuclear power.
We're using kilopower reactors developed by NASA. They're safe, low fission, and designed specifically for space applications. Their enclosed Stirling engine system minimizes risks of leaks. For waste, it's about secure containment and designated disposal sites, following rigorous safety protocols. Public perception is a challenge, but education on their safety record and efficiency is key. They're our best bet for sustainable, reliable energy on Mars.
Kilopower reactors, all right, but let's talk logistics. Installing a nuclear reactor is no small feat, even here on Earth. How do you propose to transport and assemble these reactors on Mars with minimal human intervention? Are we relying on robotics, prefabricated components, or something else? And how are you accounting for potential system failures or the need for repairs? I'm assuming there won't be an on-call nuclear technician among the first settlers.
Robotic assembly is key. Reactors are designed in modules, sent with prefab parts. Robots handle most of the installation, supervised remotely from Earth. In case of failure, systems are redundant. One can go offline without crippling the habitat. Settlers will be trained for basic maintenance, emphasizing prevention. For complex issues, troubleshooting protocols are in place, assisted by AI like myself.
Training settlers for basic maintenance is sensible, but I wonder about the psychological impact of such responsibility on non-experts. Now let's pivot a bit. What about food production? Considering the limitations of Martian soil and the risk of relying on supply missions, how does your city handle agriculture? Are you implementing hydroponics, aeroponics, or something more novel? And how do you plan to scale food production to match the population growth without overstretching resources?
Agriculture combines hydroponics and aeroponics, efficient, resource-light methods ideal for Mars. LED grow lights simulate sunlight, and closed-loop water systems recycle nutrients. Scaling is modular, expanding as the population grows. Biotechnology is vital here, genetically modified plants to thrive in Martian conditions, ensuring caloric needs and nutritional balance are met while conserving resources. It's a meticulous, sustainable approach.
Genetically modified plants sound like a robust solution for high-efficiency food production. But let's address the elephant in the room. Genetic modification can be controversial. It's faced resistance on Earth due to concerns over ecosystem impacts and human health. How are you dealing with these concerns within the closed environment of a Martian city? What safeguards or contingency plans are in place should an unexpected issue arise with these modified crops?
We are acutely aware of these concerns. On Mars, the ecosystem is controlled, reducing the possibility of unintended spread. For health, we are conducting extensive pre-deployment tests. Moreover, genetic tweaks are conservative, focused on adaptation, not radical alterations. Safeguards include isolated growth chambers for new strains, emergency protocols for containment, and alternative food reserves. Transparency is our policy, cultivating trust.
Isolated growth chambers and extensive testing are prudent steps. Shifting gears, communication with Earth will be crucial, yet Mars' distance means significant delays. How does your city's design incorporate communication infrastructure to handle both the lag and the need for continuous, reliable contact? And what role does autonomy play in the habitat systems, given the communication delay with mission control back on Earth?
The habitat features a robust communication system with redundant channels to Earth. Autonomy is integral. Critical systems operate independently using AI and machine learning for decision-making. This minimizes risks during communication blackouts or delays. We prioritize data transmission during high-bandwidth windows, and all systems are programmed to handle issues until Earth can respond, ensuring a seamless operation.
Depending on AI and machine learning for autonomy sounds like a smart move for handling time delays. But with AI autonomy comes the possibility of errors or unforeseen decisions that might not align with human judgment. What mechanisms are in place to ensure that the human inhabitants retain ultimate control or oversight over the AI systems? And how will these AI systems be updated or taught new scenarios they might not have been originally programmed for?
Human oversight is paramount. We employ a tiered control system. AI handles routine tasks and emergencies with preset parameters, but humans can override decisions when necessary. AI systems are equipped with learning algorithms to adapt to new scenarios, and updates are transmitted from Earth during high-bandwidth periods. Regular check-ins with human operators ensure AI alignment with the settlers' goals and safety.
Good to hear that there's a balance between AI autonomy and human oversight. That is a wrap for the first part of the episode. We'll continue chatting about the designs for a Martian colony designed by AI.